Welcome to In the Kitchen with Mrs. Jones, and you'll see my lovely guest today is the great Sharon Wee, all the way from Sydney in Australia. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Not at all. Welcome to sunny Glasgow.
Yeah.
You've had a bit of sunshine
Yes,
today,
just a little
but
bit.
not much.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Oh,
so,
that's really kind. And the students are really looking forward to this
good,
weekend, which
good.
is great.
Yeah.
So we've just come back from Cake International. What did you think of some of the
It's so
entries?
amazing, the entry. I think this year they said they had the biggest amount of entries, and just the quality of work is just insanely amazing.
I
It's
couldn't
just-
believe the space that
Oh
was
my
set
gosh.
out for all the entries.
Yeah,
you know?
and just some of the detail work in some of the entries, you just look at it and you go, I don't know how they did this. It's insane.
I had to go in early on Sunday
Did
to
you?
have a look
Yeah.
at all the pieces,
Oh, did you?
and I still didn't get round
Oh
them
no,
all.
I don't think I saw them all. I saw some of the big things, but I think I missed the whole cookie section, and I didn't
right.
really see many of the cupcakes. It
Yes,
was a bit crowded, and after a while, you know, when you're walking and then you get distracted, like, oh, that one, and then you forgot kind of which direction you've
Yeah, exactly,
gone. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I think I probably missed a few good ones.
But it was still a great few days.
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah,
I'm sure you'll
so
agree.
amazing,
Yeah.
so amazing.
So Sharon, you've come all the way to sunny or not Glasgow to show us one of your favourite little sweets. So what are you going to make for
We're
us
going to
today?
do cookies and cream marshmallows. So super easy to make. They don't require any baking. The only thing is probably heating up some sugar over the stove. But it sets and you can cut it up and people love it. Like it's great. And you can kind of doctor it with all different flavors and stuff like that. And there's nothing that beats homemade marshmallows, I think. Yeah. I think after you do it, you'll be spoiled.
Yeah, well, we normally buy these pink and white ones, and it is plastic fluff. They're delicious, but it is plastic
it's just
fluff.
very sweet.
Yeah.
Whereas,
So this is the real McCoy.
Yeah. And whereas I think the Oreo butter, which we're gonna do shortly, it kind of cuts down on the sweetness as well, so it doesn't make it super sweet. It just Yeah.
Well, let's get started, will we?
All right. Yeah.
So what do you need first then?
Okay, so we're gonna make Oreo butter to actually fold through the marshmallows. So here I've got some Oreo and I've got some coconut oil. So the coconut oil is to make this into a nice paste, because if you just blend this on its own, it's gonna be quite crumbly. So the oil just helps to make it into a paste. We use coconut oil because it doesn't really have much of a flavor. And also it doesn't, if you use water, for example, it'll make the biscuit go all soggy. It doesn't work. You need an oil-based thing. So we're going to pop these two into the blender and blend it until it becomes a really nice, smooth paste. So,
so this is my blender that's older than you. This was my mum's and it's very heavy.
Wow.
But I'm loath to get rid of it because it does the job.
Well,
you know?
they don't make things like that anymore that last for years and years and years. So we're just going to now, if you like more Oreos, you can certainly put more, you know.
Yeah, who doesn't like an Oreo?
I know. I was eating them from the packets. I was taking them out. So if you can resist doing that, you can actually put more Oreos.
We just had enough for the recipe and no more, didn't we?
Yeah. So let's pop that in, and then we're going to blend that. So at first it kind of looks like sand, like nothing's happening. But give it a second and the whole thing turns into a paste. There you go. So one of the great things about your mixer here is that your blade gets like really right down to the bottom. Mine has this big gap.
Oh, right, okay.
So
my mum's blender's not too bad.
No, it's perfect.
They don't make things like they used to sometimes.
So now you can see it's kind of turned into this really nice paste. So if you do this, and for some reason it's still really dry, you can always add in another kind of tablespoon of coconut oil.
So the oil looked like a butter to me rather than a
Yeah, it was
runny
very
oil.
solid. Yeah, not you don't want to get the cooking oil.
Right.
I think where they had at the shops we saw they had coconut flavored oil.
Yes.
Yeah, not that one. You want the solid coconut oil, so it kind of looks like white wax.
Right.
Yeah, it
Okay.
should look like white wax. So this is kind of what you want. We're gonna pop that back in here and save that for later.
You can smell the coconut and
Yeah.
the Oreo. Lovely.
So depending on the brand of coconut oil you buy, you might find that some have a stronger coconut taste than others. Yeah. Because usually when I make this at home, you can't really smell the coconut at all. Whereas this one here, you can. There you go. So we're going to put that aside, and we're going to fold this into the marshmallows
mixture. Okay.
later. Yep.
Lovely.
So we're going to now start making the marshmallow.
So what's the next part of the recipe then?
Right,
Sharon?
so we're going to set up the egg whites and put everything in the bowl so we have that ready. So once the sugar syrup reaches the right temperature, we can start beating the egg whites. So I've got some egg whites here and a bit of salt and a bit of cream of tartar. So the cream of tartar just helps to whip up the egg whites. So we're going to pop that into the bowl. And I love this clear bowl here because you guys can all see what's going on.
Oh, I love it. This is my favourite machine.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Would I love it. I just want to stroke
So
it
I
all
want
the
to
time.
know, how hard was it for you to choose a colour? Because I know they have like a billion colours.
They do, but actually this was my favourite. This
Oh,
and
really?
white, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to match the kitchen.
That's true.
Otherwise we would have had a purple one, and I don't think I saw a purple one.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen the green ones and the pink ones, all beautiful. So I'm just going to close that up for you for a second. And it's nice and powerful too, by the way. So we're going to leave that for a bit, and then we're going to bloom the gelatin so that when the syrup mixture is ready, the gelatin is ready to go.
Right.
So a lot of recipes will tell you you kind of need to sprinkle the gelatin over the water and stuff, and I find that in the beginning I used to do that, and I find it used to annoy me because I could never get enough gelatin sprinkled over. And then I've since learned that you actually don't need to do that. You can just pour the whole thing in and mix it in. So that's what we're going to do. Pour that in.
And when you say bloom, that's just to let it all mix in and settle
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Thicken slightly.
Yeah, so when you do this for now, it looks just kind of like a wet mess, but eventually when the water soaks into the gelatin, it becomes like this big thick jelly, really.
Yeah.
And then this we're going to mix into that sugar syrup mixture. So you want to give it a good mix until it's all fully mixed through like this, and you want to let it sit for about 5 minutes. So by the time we're done with everything, this would be kind of ready to go. Right? So we're going to now start with our syrup mixture.
Okay. So what's next then?
Okay, so we're going to prepare our sugar syrup. So I've got all the stuff here that we need. I've got some corn syrup. If you don't have corn syrup, you could use glucose as well. So corn syrup, some water, and some sugar. Now I know this looks like a lot of sugar, but in the whole scheme of things, it's not that much. Okay, so we're going to pop that all in, and then we're going to boil it until it reaches a certain temperature.
This is a saucepan.
Yeah, it's actually a really cute.
Yeah, it's a saucepan or a jug pan, and it's so handy when you're making particularly sweets like tablet and fudge and whatever. It's really handy.
It's good because it's got that little spout at the front. It doesn't look like much, but it's actually very useful.
That's by a company called Stellar, and it's stainless steel, which is just great.
I've never seen anything like it like that before. It's really cute.
I think Stellar are a Bristol company down south somewhere.
Oh yeah? Alright, so now I'm going to pop it on the stove. We've got a candy thermometer here, and we want it to reach to 118 degrees. But before it reaches 118, by the time it gets to 112, we're going to start the mixer, get it going, and then it'll get to 118 and we'll pour it in, cook the egg whites and everything. Yeah?
Okay.
So I'm going to pop that in, and we're going to place that on the stove.
Shall I put the stove on?
Yes, please. So not too high, okay? If you start way too high, what will happen? The sugar will boil and it will boil out. It'll just go everywhere. So start a bit low. And you're better going off low and slow rather than too much at a time. Because I know what will happen if you put it high, because most of the time people and me, we get impatient, we put it really high and then we forget and we go do something. It's just not fun. And trying to clean sugar off stuff, not good.
Oh, it's really tricky, isn't it?
So I'm just going to give it a light stir to make sure that all the sugar has taken the water and there's not just bits of sugar that's going to stick to the bottom of the pot, and then we're going to leave it to boil up a little bit. So now the sugar mixture is at about 112 degrees or so. We're going to start whisking that. I'm just going to put it on high because it's quite low around there. So now that the sugar is at the right temperature, I'm going to take it off and we're going to put the gelatin in right. Now when you do this thing is going to bubble up. Don't panic. You see how the gelatin has bloomed? It's going to bubble up, but don't panic. It is
Yeah.
An idea here, you just want to keep whisking until the gelatin has completely melted. Won't take long. I think it's all done. So usually I lift to check. And there's nothing in there, so that's good. And we want to turn this down onto low. Because if not, when you pour the sugar mixture in,
Yeah, it's good to go
it's going to go
everywhere.
everywhere. Not fun and not safe. So we turn it low. It's about 1.
Mhm.
I'm going to slowly pour this in. Look what I did earlier. So you want to pour it in from the side. And then a slow trickle.
This will be very hot, won't
Yeah,
it?
so yeah, be careful. And if you're doing this with kids, obviously you need to do this bit.
Smells lovely,
Yeah,
but it's all that
it's
sugar.
all sugar. It can't possibly smell bad. So now the mixture is looking kind of brown because of the corn syrup that we put in. It was an organic corn syrup, so it was a bit brown. But if you use the clear corn syrup, it won't be as brown. But what I found is that once you whip it up, it becomes white anyways. So
Right,
you can't,
okay.
yeah, it's all the difference. So if you were just making plain marshmallows, you would also add in a bit of vanilla at the
Right,
end. But I
okay.
have not because we're doing the Oreo
The
one.
chocolate
Yeah.
chip, yeah.
So once that's all in, we're going to turn the mixture up. And we want to whip it until it's completely cooled. And as you'll see now, it looks like soup. But as it cools down and as the gelatin cools down, the eggs will start to whip and it will get firmer and firmer and it'll look like fluff. So we're going to leave this whipping until it cools down. You can also feel the side of the bowl.
Yes,
It's a little bit hot.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's pretty much almost done. And you can tell because it's really thick around the sides now. You can see how wide it is. And if you feel the side of the bowl, it's not that hot anymore. It's still a little bit warm, but it's fine. You can see when you lift it up, it's nice and thick.
Thick,
You
yeah.
could whip it a little bit more and get it stiffer, but I find in the past when I've done that, it becomes really hard to spread into the tin.
Right,
Because
okay.
it gets all sticky. So I'd rather have it a little bit runny like this so that when you spread it into the tin, it's nice and flat. It looks nicer. So to prepare the tin, we've got the tin here, and I've just sprayed a bit of oil spray and put a layer of cling wrap
Right.
on it. It
okay.
just makes it easier to take out. And then I'm going to do another spray of oil spray and just dust it with the icing sugar and corn flour mixture.
Okay.
Yeah. So this spray is really cool, by the way. We don't have anything like
Yeah,
that.
I know you said that. I'm
We have
surprised
like an
at that.
aerosol one, not like this. It's
Ah,
like-
right. Okay.
Yeah.
That tin's by a company called Silverwood, and they make some really cracking tins.
Yeah.
It's quite deep, isn't it?
Yeah. It's actually the perfect height for this. if you
Yeah,
want
for
nice
this
and
whole recipe.
fluffy
Yeah.
marshmallows. Yeah. A little bit of that. And just sift it over.
Yeah, that's good. That would help it come out, but
Yeah.
also,
Not stick as well.
yeah.
Don't forget the sides.
Do you make lots of this, Sharon? Do you?
A little bit. I used to make a lot, and then I can't find anyone to eat them now, so I stopped making them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can take this whisk out. That away for me, thank you. So if you wanted to, you could actually whisk this a little bit longer, get it a bit stiffer, and then you can pipe it.
Oh,
so you can
yes,
pipe
of
like
course.
little mounds of, kind of like meringues, but
Yes,
with marshmallow, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And if you want, you could probably put some colour into this as well, some colour.
Yeah, because I was thinking a nice, just a ribbon of colour through it.
Yeah,
not all
could you
totally
imagine like
mixed in.
bright pink or something,
Yes,
like
yeah.
a marble bright pink through there? Yeah. So we're just gonna pop some of that Oreo.
It looks like dirt.
It does, doesn't it? So I'm gonna put a little bit in, give it a bit of a swirl first, and then we put the rest in. So the key here is not to over mix it. So you want to just give it a couple really good swirls, but don't overdo it. And it might look like it disappears, but it's all inside and sometimes it sinks to the bottom too. So make sure you get the sides.
Oh yes, right to the bottom.
See how you can see some of the, so yeah, try and split some of that up.
Oh, it smells delicious.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't end up splitting the chunks up, it's not a big deal. Someone will just get a really nice big chunk of oil.
Yes.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing. You know? So once you've got that through, you can see a bit of the swirling happening here. We're going to pour it into our tin. See, when it's a bit warmer, it just pours very nicely.
Yes, yeah.
And if you want, you could probably set it on a very wide tray and set it a bit thinner, and then you can cut out shapes.
Oh yes, of course. You can maybe use like a scone cutter that we have
or
here,
even like a heart-shaped cutter to cut out different shapes and stuff like that. Or you can also set it in molds. So let's say you had like little chocolate, like you know, one of those silicone chocolate molds.
Yes, yeah.
You could set it in those too. Yeah, pack it in them.
I'm so surprised how easy it is.
It's fast. I guess the only part that's a little bit time consuming is waiting for the sugar to boil, but other than that...
Yeah, and getting the sugar to the right temperature so it does its thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you underdo it, so let's say you get it not to 118 or 120 degrees and you underdo it, what will happen is that the next day you'll find that your marshmallow is very wet. Because the sugar, like not enough moisture has been boiled off.
Yes,
And I don't know, I like to get every bit in there.
Yeah, me too. I don't like waste.
I know. So I try and scrape out every single little bit.
And actually, I don't really smell the coconut now. I smell it's the chocolate.
Probably the Oreo and everything.
Yes,
And if you have kids, they will love to lick the spoon.
Oh,
I'm sure they will love it. And then that last one, we're going to dust another layer of icing sugar and corn flour over it.
Ooh, how lovely is that?
Yeah. And then we let this set. So typically it takes about a day. I let it set overnight, but if you're in a colder country like here, maybe just a few hours will do. Who knows? But yeah, usually overnight I just leave it, and at room temperature I leave it like this. But maybe if you're in a more humid country, you might want to put it I guess somewhere that's a bit cooler, like a cupboard, or I don't know, I've never tried putting it in the fridge, so I wouldn't really recommend that. But
well, if you're staying in our country, I would probably just leave it out to set.
Yeah. At home in Australia, even when it's summer, I would just leave it out to set, and it sets just fine. Yeah. So there you go.
Now you said to me you've posted this samples of this. How did you do it?
So
well, I know you go to the post office, but how do you pack it?
So I've cut it into little cubes, and then you can buy plastic. You know the kind of plastic bags you buy for cookies?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I've just stuck them all in there into like a little like 3x3 kind of thing, and I just taped it all up and put it in the post in a box, and and it posts just fine. Posts really good. I have not tried posting it internationally, but within Australia, it posted just fine. Yeah, and because the post comes within a couple of days, and these have quite a relatively long shelf life because of all the sugar and all that in there. Yeah, you can kind of post them. So.
Well, I can't wait for it to set, and then we can sample it.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be great. It already smells really good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. So, Sharon, it looks lovely now that it's set.
Yeah, it's set really well. So we're going to pop it out now of the tin. And let's loosen up the cling wrap first.
Looks delicious, and the marbling looks great.
Yeah, it's going to look really great when we cut into it actually, and we're going to pull this out.
Great. These tins are
really
they
worked
good.
out well.
Yeah,
these tins.
really good. Yeah.
Never actually seen one like this.
There we go.
You can see already the swirling that's happening.
Wow, gorgeous.
And
I'll take this off the space. Ooh, lovely! Look at that. And as we said earlier, you can you could have put dried fruits or
nuts or anything in there.
Uh-huh.
And if you want, you could also have set this on a much thinner tray, and then you can do get cookie cutters and cut different shapes and stuff out. So that'd be
yeah.
really cool. Let's get the ruler. So I like to measure it. I mean, if you want to cut it by eye and have it a bit rustic looking, you can, but I like to measure it. And because it's a 12 by 8 inch tin, I want it to be about 1 inch by 1 inch wide. So I'm just gonna cut probably from this end here. So usually I just make a little bit of a nick with my knife. There's 1 inch there.
So precise, Sharon. I would probably cut it and make a mess of it.
Yeah. I used to do that, and then I realized when I started packing them, because when I pack them into little gift bags, I like to stick them side by side and have it like a little big block.
Yeah.
And when I found that I wasn't measuring it and I was just putting it, everything was really uneven and looked terrible, so it didn't look very good. Oh, before we cut, you want to just spray your knife. So you can either dip your knife in hot water, which will help, or you can spray your knife.
Now that's clever. Yeah. I'd never
so
thought of that.
Get stuck.
Yes.
So we can cut.
Oh, it just bounces back. Lovely.
Bouncy. And see, you've got the nice kind of marbling going through there. So I'll move that aside for now. I'll cut these up. And this, again, you can do by eye or you can kind of measure, but I'm going to just do it by eye.
They would be really pretty on a dessert table, you know, at your event, a wedding or something.
Yeah. And if you had, like, I guess, different colored cookies, like strawberry ones, or, you know, I guess those biscuits with the jam in it, that'd be really nice, because then it'll be a different color swirl coming through it. So once you've cut it, what you want to do, this is our icing sugar and corn flour mixture. Push that up there. You want to pop them in there.
Oh, right, okay.
You need to give them a bit of a dust or they'll stick together.
Right, okay.
And when you dust them, it will look like the swirls disappear because it looks really white now. But after a while, when the icing sugar melts away, the swirls and stuff will come back. So
right, okay.
And we pop them in here.
So how long will these last then, this mixture?
I haven't had it longer than a week, because everyone tends to just eat it. But I think you could either easily do a week or 2 weeks, like depending on the climate that you're in.
Right, okay.
And if you store them well.
And do you find if you go home to Singapore, you need to make this a little bit more stiff?
I have not had that problem. But I have not tried. But I don't think it's really a problem. Obviously, in Singapore, you would have to store it better, like in a humid country.
Yes.
You can't just leave it out sitting out there, or the sugar will kind of melt. So you want to just make sure you store it well, in like a container, or I wouldn't put it in the fridge, but just in a cool kind of area.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
Should we cut some more?
Yeah, good idea.
It's a little bit sad.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
I'll put another row.
Oh, gorgeous.
I can do this one by eye, probably.
This is the type of thing that children would like, and I'm pretty
They
sure
would
you've made the
love
recipe
it.
look so straightforward. I'm pretty sure kids would really enjoy helping you make it too.
And you can easily put so many flavors in it. So I've done in the past, like an Earl Grey and strawberry one.
Oh,
so you can put
lovely.
strawberry flavoring, and you put what did I do? I put Earl Grey tea leaves in the sugar syrup, and then I just strained it out after.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's got some nice Earl Grey, very light Earl Grey flavor.
Oh, gorgeous. You'd never want to buy a packet of marshmallows again.
No,
would you?
it's quite easy to make, and I think once you've had the homemade stuff, you're a little bit spoiled because
I can see already what you were saying. The corn flour and the icing sugar mixture is beginning to melt into it.
Yeah. So when you first dust it, you're like, oh no, my swirls are gone, but you don't really see it after that.
Ooh, beautiful. Oh, I can smell the
Oreos.
The Oreos. Who would have thought? Aren't Oreos great?
Yeah, well, Oreos go great with everything.
Yes,
you know? And then if you want, you could also add like a few more in there. Kind of dress it up.
Ooh.
If you need extra Oreos.
Yes,
Because who doesn't need extra Oreos? There.
That's lovely.
So would you like to try some?
Oh, let's try it.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's
Okay,
try
go
it. Even
for
though
it.
I've got my brace,
Go for
I'll
it.
try it. Yeah, you have to try some too.
All right.
So fluffy. Wow.
It's very light.
And actually, the Oreo is strong.
It's
a
very strong.
A much stronger taste than just adding plain chocolate in, and that's really delicious.
And it's got a very strong Oreo flavor. I can taste the coconut oil a little bit, but I think that particular brand has a stronger flavor, so you probably want to check. I don't mind it. I actually like the taste of coconut, so yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, Sharon, thank you so much for coming all the way to sunny Glasgow. You didn't have much sunshine today.
Well,
you did maybe first thing in the morning.
Yeah, the day started out good, but yeah.
So what are your plans in the future then? Because you're known for your most gorgeous children's books. I mean, even I could have a go with your tutorials as well.
Thank you so much. I don't know. I think maybe another book is in the works and more online classes and stuff next year. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. We're in the process of filming and building a new website.
Right.
All that good stuff. So yeah.
And your current website's so colourful too.
Thank you.
Well. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we've outgrown it, so we're in the process of actually getting a new one made that has a little bit more functionality for our users and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. And, yeah.
Great.
Really
We'll just finish this.
Yes. Why not?
Why not? Okay.